Hello, New Zealand. Welcome back to the couch. Nick and Willie here as always. And this is the episode that I think a lot of people have been waiting for, if we're judging it on our DM. So before we get underway, Willie in London, you happy, man?
Yeah, yeah, pretty happy, surviving and thriving, eh? So,
Mm.
yeah, we're getting there. Ready
You'd be
for a big
pretty, you'd
week of
be,
sport.
oh yeah, man. You'd be pretty keen on this episode, wouldn't you? You're a bit of a rugby league man.
Yeah, this one of my favourites is I'm kind of tempted to get the Jim Beam or the Woodstock out and just get some bourbon, just throw some bourbon down my mouth, even though I don't not a massive bourbon fan, like it's kind of instilling those feelings.
100%. Yeah, so what we are going to do today, guys, is we are going to do a 2025 NRL season preview. So how this is going to work is each of us are just going to run through our table from 17 to first. So again, just regular season, not worrying about the final series. Just a
Yeah,
bit
the
about
the
why.
minor premierships, the main one, isn't it? As we talked
It's all
about
we,
in
it's all we
another
live for.
episode. Yeah.
Yeah. So just running through our NRL table, similar to the Super Rugby one. But before we do that, we've got a new segment. Actually, no, we did it the last one. Scenario. We did it. So
hmm
I've got a scenario for Willie today. But before we do that, we do have one piece of fan mail. You don't have any, do you?
No, no, none today.
I got one bit of fan mail from Stephen from the North Harbour, and he says, "Where the f is the women's Super Smash preview? I'm unfollowing." Do you want to respond to that, Willie?
Um, yeah, I mean, that's kind of startled me a bit. I don't think I've ever heard anyone do that before. But I'm sure
Yeah.
there's another channel out there for you, Steve. So good luck in finding that. If anyone
Yeah.
even watches it, yeah, to preview it. But yeah.
Oh no! Look, we're probably an evolving podcast and an inclusive podcast. So look,
Mm,
maybe in 2 to 3 years we might get to a stage where we are previewing the women's Super Smash.
mm.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there's obviously
if you can retire me so I don't need to work anymore, I can sit through that stuff and get some intel on it.
yeah,
So like and
um,
subscribe.
yeah, but obviously we've got some of those players that play in the women's Super Smash are fans of the show, so we don't want to offend them. But there is a quota, so we would love to cover it, but there's actually a quota of people that are needed in the crowds before we can talk about it on here, and unfortunately that hasn't been met just yet. So we're
Yeah.
hoping in the next few years, once the crowd numbers grow and we meet that quota that
Mm,
we need, we'll be able to talk about it.
yeah.
So yeah,
Calling all women out there, go and attend those games because guys go and attend the guy games, so you guys can get out there and
and we're
support
busy.
your fellow ladies. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And we're busy guys. We work three jobs, just to stay afloat. And
Exactly.
this one. All right, so that brings me to my scenario. So the scenario segment is sponsored by Williams Farming Corporation, the main sponsor of the show. So my scenario for you today, Willie, is the following: would you rather go to an NRL Grand Final blind, or go to a Women's Super Smash final with your eyesight?
For me, that's a no-brainer. That's that's the grand final blind. I think just taking in the sounds and the smells of what's going on there would be enough for me to get me over the line. Like, yeah,
Mm.
yeah. So you're
Look,
saying, so what you're trying to say effectively is go to a women's Super Smash game as I am right now with all my senses, or go to an NRL grand final just missing the biggest one. Yeah. No, that's obvious for me. NRL Grand Final in a heartbeat. Sorry to all you Super Smash Famales out there, but yeah.
Yeah. And again, it's not because we don't enjoy the women's Super Smash, but as you said, there's a lot of
No,
smells,
that
sounds,
for
things.
me, yeah, for
Oh,
me it is that, but yeah,
yeah, sweet.
yeah,
Just trying to keep all our fans. Okay, we need to rip straight in before there's a cancellation. Notice that
yeah,
comes to my doorstep. So you can
yeah.
start, Willie. Who is your wooden spooners for the 2025 NRL season?
Wooden spooners. I've actually gone for Parramatta this year. I reckon the loss of Gutho is quite a big one because that guy was the heart and soul of that club. As much as he's probably not like your top tier fullback, for a big finals run, I think he actually was severely like underrated and overhated at that club. That as well as a new coach. We've all seen it take some time to kind of get your ideas onto the field kind of thing. So, and obviously Dillbag's got an ACL, Dylan Brown. So how long is he out for
When
as well?
I missed
Did he
that.
have an
How recent
ACL?
was that?
Didn't he have an
Oh yeah,
ACL
yeah,
at the end of last season? Yeah, that's why he couldn't play
yeah.
Kiwis.
That's right. Yeah, true. So he
Mm.
will be missing the
So
start
he's going to
still. Yeah.
miss a big, yeah. So for those reasons, like, and I
Mm.
think Mitch Moses, good player, but he's literally like Parramatta for me are one ACL, another ACL away from a wooden spoon. So that's why I put them as spooners.
Yeah, no, I don't have them doing very well either. I'll get to that. So, the seventh last place for me, there's actually a bit of a hot take. I've actually got the Newcastle Knights getting the spoon this year, and the reason for that is, they've got some good players. They've obviously got a pretty incredible back five, but I just don't think there's enough in their pack to get them over the line when their halves are Tyson Gamble and Phoenix Crossland. So, I quite like Phoenix Crossland when he's in the nine jersey, but that to me is one of the worst halves pairing I can remember in the NRL for a long time. So I can actually see the Knights taking a big dip. And again, like you're talking about an ACL, like if a Kalen Ponga was to go down, then I'd have absolutely
Mm.
no doubt that they're getting a spoon. So, and they've obviously got guys like Leo Thompson who've signed elsewhere. I just wonder how that season's going to go for them. So, got them coming last. Back to
No,
you.
that's fair. 16th, I've actually gone for the Finns, and that may be a bit of a hot take, but I think history repeats itself, and I think anytime Wayne Bennett leaves a club, he kind of rips the absolute guts out of it and the heart and soul. So I'm expecting a bit of a drop off from the Finns, and they don't really have like that guy, like they don't have
Mm,
that superstar that can win them those kind of tight games. Like they're a decent enough squad, but they don't have that
mm,
one player that's going to dig them out of a hole just yet. So yeah, for me, I've got them 16th.
mm.
And I
Yeah,
would
well,
love to
this
be
is.
wrong. I'd love to be wrong. I'd love
Mm.
them to, yeah, the Finns, great addition to the NRL. So,
Yeah. Well, this is going to be a good show because I think we're going to differ quite a lot here, which is going to be a good discussion for the viewers. Like, this is obviously going to be quite an educationalist show for once, so
mm,
hopefully a lot of fan mail and things like that. 16th for me, I've got the Eels, so you obviously had them last. I've got them 16th, so again, I don't think they're going to have a good season. They've lost not just Gutho, like Campbell Gillard, the big loss, I think, in their
mm,
pack. And again, you just run through their team one to 17, and yeah, if Brown's back and Moses is firing, they've got good halves, but and they signed Lomax, but there's just too much missing. Like there's too many reserve graders that are
mm.
going to be playing for them. So, yeah, 16th is the Eels for me.
Yeah, nice. 15th, I've got Newey. I've got the Newcastle. Kind of similar reasons to yourself. I'm a bit like they always kind of seem to do this though, but I'm going to back myself and go 15th. I think they'll have a bit of a shit year this year, but at the same time, I wouldn't be surprised if they were like squeezing for trying to slip into that top eight. Like, they always seem to be there and thereabouts, even if they are going shit. But yeah, like you say, I'm gonna back myself and say with that halves combo, bit of a weak pack. Like, yeah, I can't see them doing too great. So 15th.
Yeah, you're right though. They've done it before. Like there's been years where you wouldn't expect much from them, and then they make the eight or even better. So yeah, I know what you mean, but yeah, I don't think it's gonna be a good year for them. 15th for me, I've got the Dragons. I think they have improved. Like I do think they've got a lot better actually. With the addition of Holmes, although it sounds like he's injured at the moment. Gutho, Damien Cook,
Cook.
and
Yeah.
yeah, a few good signings. I think they're going to be much better. But I think this is just the nature of the NRL being such a good competition. Like I just couldn't find I couldn't have them above any of the teams I've got above them. So um, I think they could be improvers, but I still at the moment have just got them at 15th.
Mm. Yeah, I've gone for them at 14th for similar reasons, like slight improvements, and I reckon Flanagan's a good enough coach here. He can get the best out of these new players as well and kind of give them that X factor that they were kind of lacking last year. They've kind of moved on from the Ben Hunt saga as well, so that could potentially help them. But yeah, I think all the teams above them are just slightly stronger than them. Yeah.
Yeah, nah, 100%. He's a good coach, so that is a bit of a X factor play though with them. 14th for me, I've gone Tigers. Similar reason, really. I think they're going to be a much better side, and I hope they do quite well. But again, I just can't I can't put them any higher. at the moment. So yeah, I think they'll improve quite a lot. I've got high hopes for kind of how they'll go, but at this first year of it all coming together, I think they'll fit into about
Mm.
14th.
Yeah, I've put them at 13th. I just think like even though they've got like your Jerome Luais and your Taruvas and stuff like that, like your forward pack's still way too weak. Like they lost Uta Ukamanu,
Huge loss.
but got Terrell May, but Terrell May
Mm.
was a reserve for the Roosters, and he would come on when all your like actual battler props are coming on and like bully people through. Then when he's their main guy, he's just going to get targeted, and like your Fisher Harrises, your Payne Haas's, your Tinos are just going to absolutely maul your Terra May because he wants to bloody do podcasts and vlogs the whole time. Kind of similar to us, but
It's trying to be
yeah.
like us. We're not NRL
Yeah.
players.
Yeah, no,
Um,
I just can't see it coming together too quickly, kind of thing. So, but I think there definitely will be improvements this year.
mm, yeah, no, and yeah, you're right. I think Utsukamano is a huge loss. Like, I don't think enough's been made of that. Like,
Mm,
he's the leader of that pack. So, yeah. 13th for me is the Raiders. And again, this is similar to the Knights, where a lot of the time people have them lower than what they actually always end up, because obviously they're so
mm,
good at home. And they're just a grinding team that they're never an easy beat. Like, they're always in games. So, but
mm,
yeah, I just have them at 13th. Like, I look at that team, and again, there's a lot of promising young guys, but um, I wonder whether, I guess I've been expecting a down year. I expected more of a down year last year than what we got, and I just think maybe it's going to happen this year, because I just think they're missing a wee bit, um, particularly in their spine. I guess they've got quite an experienced spine. So yeah,
mm.
got them at 13th.
Yeah, no, I agree with you there. 12, who have I put? I've actually got the Warriors at 12. As hard as that is to say, I think getting Fisher Harris is obviously a great, great buy for, oh, like a great replacement, great replacement team, for
Great replacement.
Noah Blake, but and I think over time his impact will show, but I just the halves for me don't do it, and kind of the two of us a Sheck experiment isn't really, unfortunately it's not working. Like I think he either has to go to full, oh like it's a tough one because he's not getting enough ball in the centres. Carnes is probably our best ball playing fullback. Like it's such a. I think there's still so much like up in the air. I'm hoping that I'm completely wrong, and I trust Webster, but yeah, it just I think for me the halves are the biggest concern, and Wade Egan getting a concussion every time he puts his jersey on. Unfortunately,
Yeah. What's that paying at the TAB?
that was $1.07, um, $1.07. Yeah, yeah,
I
but
was, yeah,
hopefully, yeah, I wouldn't mind maybe for 2026, hopefully the Warriors could even go in for a smoky Brandon Smith at a cut price for from his as he's been shown the door from the Roosters. So hopefully with
mm,
Tohu. Oh, you know Tohu this year either. Sorry,
it's
how could
massive.
I got to pay respects there to the knee. Tohu's knee is one of the great fantasy names. Yeah, Tohu's knee. Yeah, so that's me. Was that 12th, was it?
Yeah, 12. Yeah, and I
Yeah.
think you're probably a bit more onto it. Yeah, I've tried to go. I guess I've gone a little bit loyalty and heart there, so I've got the Warriors higher than they probably should be. But yeah,
Mm.
I'm pretty pessimistic, I guess, in a lot of ways. 12th. That's actually a bit of a take for you. Got the Cowboys, and I like the Cowboys,
Ooh.
but um, yeah, I don't know. I was just looking at their team, and I just wonder whether you've just got some aging bodies, and they've obviously, I think people like Val Holmes, like it's a big loss. Like yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Again, I
No,
think the comp
I
this
get
year
you.
is as competitive as it's been, and
Mm.
there's something. I think they're missing something when I look at them, and I just go, yeah. So I've got them at 12. Yeah,
Yeah, no, I wouldn't disagree with you there, but I think they're always quite an exciting team, and especially when you take games up to North Queensland, like
yeah,
that's where they just fucking bank the points up there, just the conditions.
yeah.
And
And I love Tommy
through Origin
Dearden.
as well.
Like,
Yeah, love Tommy Dearden.
yeah, love Tommy
Um,
Dearden. He's a gun.
my 11th, I've actually gone for a bit of a hottie here. I don't know if you'd have them this low, but I've gone the Roosters, eh? I just
Mm,
reckon the amount of losses they've had from last year, you pair that with the fact Sammy Walker ACL, Brandon Smith ACL. Um, yeah, I just can't see them doing amazingly with Sandon Smith. I know that they've got like a good like your Angus Crichton's like they'll always be thereabouts Tedesco like, but I just can't see them actually slipping into the top eight with they are flat track bullies, and I think with the key players them Jerry Manu's and stuff that have moved on as well, Ria Hargreaves like so yeah.
yeah.
I think 11th is probably where their ceiling for them for this year.
Well, you know what? This is crazy. There's already been people starting rumors on your social medias and things like that, your social mediums, saying that you and I are the two smartest brains in New Zealand sport.
Mm,
Because guess where I've got the Roosters myself? I've got them at 11.
mm,
Um, and there's a few, pretty much the same reasons. They are aging, far out there aging. You look at the players they've still got: Tedesco, Tupou. They've signed Chad Townsend. Like
yeah.
just the team does nothing for me this year. There's obviously a little bit of discon. They're not really Brandon Smith. There's issues there. Like they're not really that much of a cohesive unit at the
Mm,
moment. Um, this is their down year. Every team that has a bit of a dynasty like this has a down year where it's a complete rebuild and shit's gonna hit the fan, and there'll be even more people leaving. And yeah, Suali, Manu, Wairea Hargraves, like all these guys leaving is huge. And Terrell May even, and they
mm.
haven't. Yeah,
The
I don't
vlogs.
like. Yeah, so I
Mm,
just don't. I think when you one of your big signings is Chad Townsend, I think your
mm,
ceiling absolutely is 11. So
yeah.
yep, got them there just like you do.
Perfect. At 10, I have gone for the Raiders. Kind of, yeah. I hear what you said about them, but they're always just that fucking team. They're always that team. There's like every single time you get to like round 24 or round 25, it's always the Raiders are in the equation. They're either fucking 7th through 10th. Like
Mm,
they're always fighting for the spot. I don't think their team is good enough to get them in just yet.
mm,
I think maybe a couple years they'll get into like your six, sevens kind of thing. But yeah, like you say at the moment, probably just not enough class to beat all those other teams to get into it, but will be niggly enough and probably finish around 10 for me.
yeah. Um.
And Sticky. And gotta love
Yeah.
Sticky for his
Yeah.
press conferences. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. No, you're probably more on the money there than I am. And you'll be more money on the than you'll probably be more on the money than I am here as well because this is a bloody hot take. We've got Manly at 10. Um.
Whew.
Yeah, I've got some real bolters making the eight this year, and this is kind of
Mm,
why I've got teams like Manly, Cowboys, Roosters, not making it. Like it's
mm,
just more the fact that I'm so impressed by some of the other rosters that have been put together. Manly are always there or thereabouts. They haven't lost really anyone, and they've still got DCE and your Travojevic as if they don't break their knees and things like that. Well, sorry, Jake doesn't, but Tommy,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um,
Yeah,
and
Burbo.
they've got Homo Olakuatus if you don't mind, and
Mm,
um, always never big name front rowers. Like I think that's always probably where they get let down. Like
mm.
Paseka's a bit like I don't
Yeah,
reckon he's a big
Paseka
name
has
player.
the potential, but he's too much of a
Yeah,
wuss, isn't he?
yeah,
He'll
he is.
go
Yeah,
for he'll go for 250 meters against like
yeah,
your Dolphins, but
Warriors.
then when it gets to get yeah your Warriors, but then when
Yeah,
it gets against like Melbourne and Penrith, he runs around to 50. It's like yeah
yeah,
different. Yeah.
mhm. Yeah. So no, they're good. They've still got your Ruben Garricks and they're a good side, but I just have them at 10. So yeah.
Mm. Yeah, well, I'm actually thinking pretty similar. I've got them at 9.
Mm.
Which yeah, people are gonna say that we just put
We
this
aren't sharing
together
notes.
yeah,
Not
yeah, we
sharing
actually
notes.
aren't. No, we
We'll
hate
find that
each
out
other.
soon.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, we'll find that out soon.
Yeah, no, similar reasons. Like, I think DCE is probably due for a bit of a fall off year. Like now that I don't know, I think he's having a bit of like retirement thoughts and all that kind of shit. I think that distraction. Obviously, Tommy, great player if
Mm.
he can stay on the pitch, but
Yeah.
um, yeah, we just know that that's probably not going to happen, and he's going to miss a good chunk of it. Like, yeah,
Mm.
and Brooks in the half. Like, yeah, I don't know. I just something about them ninth for me.
Mm. Yeah, Gerbo and DC are both aging too, and that's part of my reasoning. Yep.
Mm,
9 for me is the Warriors. I do have them missing the eight as much as I have put them higher than I probably should have. I think my justification for them being that high, I guess, is I do like Fish coming over. I don't know if he's any better than Finno Blake as an NRL prop. To be fair, I think they're different. But I think he'll bring more to the Warriors than what Fanua Blake does, not in meters or anything like that. But I
Mm,
think he'll bring a professionalism that'll make the rest of the players around him better.
mm.
And then I just think like if we can stay healthy, there's like obviously Luke Metcalf. Hopefully he's a big thing,
Yeah,
a factor.
yeah.
I
Looking
don't
forward to
mind
seeing
Tanner Boyd.
him. Mm,
I don't mind Tanner Boyd as like a controlling half, like pretty boring, but does the job and get us
mm.
around the park, which we didn't have last year at all. And
Yeah, I
then
would. Yeah, if I wouldn't mind his kicking meters instead of Chanel Harris Tavita's 15 meters off every kick.
yeah,
Like you make 60
oh,
meters on a set and he can only hit the 30-meter line. I'm pretty keen to get someone that can actually kick the ball. And yeah,
yeah,
if that's okay with you. Yeah.
oh, 100%. And like I yeah, if Chanel Harris Tavita gets any game time, then I've changed my prediction and we're coming 17th. So the Warriors HQ that are
Yeah.
listening to this,
Are
just
you
please
yeah. Are you going to
don't.
take a year out and write some poems or whatever?
Yeah,
You
I
know,
was thinking about it. Yeah. Um, Anyway, but yeah, no. So I think, yeah, they've got again still good edge forwards like Niokore and Jackson Ford and Kurt Capewell. Hopefully, is a bit better than he was last year. And
Mm,
yeah, obviously some of those young guys, those big young boys are edge
yeah.
forwards, and Aaron Clark can kind of fill in that 13 job if they play him there as like a ball playing 13. Still got Mitch Barnett with Fisher. I think is one of the best front row,
Yeah,
potentially
yeah.
front row starting front row pairing in the comp. So there's
Yeah.
enough to I guess get a little bit excited, but we need a bounce back season from a lot of people like RTS,
Mm,
Rocco Berry, even Dallin to some degree, and Chan.
yeah.
So yeah, a lot of people need to be back to their 2023 form, not their 2024 form.
Yeah, it'd be nice to see Darker the Berry Sweet of the Juice back. I thought he was one of
Mm,
our standout players in
yeah,
in our
and
in
good
our
friends of
big
the
finals
sponsor,
run.
of course.
Yeah, 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 yeah,
So
yeah. Yeah, yeah,
yeah, 8 for you.
absolutely. Eight for me, I have gone for the Cowboys. Probably some of the reasons you had as to why you had them lower, that's why I've got them at eight. But I just think playing up north,
Mm,
such an advantage for them. I think kind of now they know Reece Robson's future as well. It kind of
mm,
yeah, I could see them even finishing a bit higher. Like they kind of know that this is like their window of opportunity or nothing. So, but yeah, I think holding them back is like your drinkies in big games can just get like the big teams can just suffocate and he has no impact. So yeah, for me, kind of eight for the cows.
mm. Yeah, this is where we differ big time. In 8, I've actually got the Dolphins. And I understand what you were saying. And I think there's probably still a little bit missing in the pack and maybe the halves. I think their pack is solid though, and this is why I've got them in the 8. I think their pack just does enough. Because for me, I think Isaiah Katoa will take another step this year, and I think
Mm.
he will establish himself as one of the best sevens in the game. And then I think their back five is potentially the best back five in the comp. Like you just look across the board there, like Herbie
Yeah,
Farnworth and
that's
Hammer,
yeah, yeah.
like it's Jack
I'm a bit
Bostock, is it the winger?
yeah,
Fuck,
Bostock. Yeah, the big lanky, the big
incredible.
bipedal giraffe on the wings.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and then Jermaine Asako and like their team is their back five. I don't think I'd be able to pick any back five over that. Like I just love it.
mm.
Hammer for me
Gutted.
is one. Yeah.
Yeah, gutted that Trey Fuller's ACL'd himself out the season though.
Mm, yeah.
It was great to watch last year.
Yeah. Because who were they? Who was the? Was it Avarillo? Was the other centre last year?
Yeah, they had a bit
Or
of
was
Averillo, and then they had Hammer in the centres as well when they were
yeah.
trying to put
Mm,
Fuller at the back as well.
yeah.
But yeah,
But even
Farnworth and yeah, it
yeah.
was a pretty incredible backline.
Yeah. So I don't know. I just think they could be something about them this year where they sneak in. So yeah.
Yeah, nice. Is a seventh now. Seventh, I've got the Titans. I think this year, I think they started off, obviously last year they started off so awful. Obviously losing Tino was probably a big part of that as well. I think getting him back fresh and fit, ready to go. We've seen what Kenny can do. They had a lot of their fullback distractions. Now it just has to be Kenny. It can't be anyone else.
No.
He like his season was incredible. Him for the Kiwis was incredible. I think Campbell with an off season in the halves. I think he looks really good. He's got some nice probably can't use that word. C punts. He can kick the ball pretty well, so they've got a nice kicking game. And then yeah, I don't know. I think seventh for them. I think a really good year for them. They always kind of have the hype around them. I think you AKP, your Pereira, who's if we're going to get into bloody futures punts, him for a top try scorer is always a good shout because he always pays about like 15 bucks. But the Titans, every single Titans game is 30 to 28. So they're scoring 5 tries a game. Yeah, no, but sorry, they just got a bit sidetracked there by the betting. That's something. But yeah, no, I don't know. I think Titans seventh for me.
Yeah, I've got them there too, mate. So that's another place I thought where we might differ big time because I thought it was a big shout me putting them seven. But yeah, same sort of thing as you. The main reason for me is the pack. Like Campbell Gallard's a great signing. They've still got Tino, still got Dave Fafita, still got Bo Fermor, still got Mo Fodawaker, Sammy Verrills at hooker still. Yeah.
Yeah, I think they operate either him or Randall, don't they? Him or Chris Randall.
Yeah, yeah. And that's
Yeah.
solid enough. And then, yeah, that AJ Brimson, Jaden Campbell, Keanu Kinney conundrum with their exciting back five. So their whole team is wicked, I reckon. But one area they always get let down is the injury. So I mean, so much of it depends on the injuries. But yeah, if they even have a remotely healthy season, I can't see them not making the eight. They are
Mm.
such a good team on paper. At their pack,
Yeah,
that's got to be the best pack in the comp.
yeah.
Um,
I think even their back five is pretty ridiculous as well. Like when you
yeah,
got like I don't even know who your best five are out of like you got Jojo for feeders, your Philip Sami who's
mm,
always wicked. You got
yeah.
your bloody Kelly, who I never used to actually be that hot on, but he actually does a really good job for them.
Yeah, he's a
Bremo,
winner.
like you say, Kenny, like yeah, they've got so much depth in there as well. But yeah,
Yeah.
who do they run in their halves? Oh, Kieran Foran and Campbell. Yeah, I got them at
Well,
seven.
the rumor is it's going to be Brimson and Campbell, with Foz just being the experienced head and filling in when there's injuries. But yeah, I'd play Foran. But
Mm,
yeah, but you can't not play the Kenny
yeah,
Brimson. You could put Brimson at centre, but I don't think he'd want that. So
yeah,
they've got a
no.
good, yeah.
At six I got the Rabbitohs. Just purely Wayne Wayne Bennett influence. I think last year on and off the field, the club was all over the shops. Think injuries, Latrell injured most of the time. Cam Murray was out for big portions of it. So I think getting all those guys back with some Wayne to refine that. Yeah, I got them at six, a big bounce back. Yeah,
Mm. I have the Dogs at six, which I think is about what they finished last year. So I can see them being similar. Like, I still think they don't quite have a good enough pack to take them into the top four, but they've got a good side, and yeah, I can't see them dropping at all. So yeah, just six for the Doggies. Not much to say on them really.
yeah, I've got them at five. Similar reasons. Like I don't think there's too much of an improvement where they're going to be like fighting for the top two or three spots.
Your
But
minor plates.
yeah, and I think have they who they recruited? Have they got anyone
They have made
this
some. They
off?
got Montoya
Yeah,
from the Warriors. They made other good.
yeah,
I can't remember now though. I'm
yeah. They
lost to it.
always they always seem to
Yeah,
make a shitload of signings every year.
yeah,
But yeah, no, I don't think they've improved too much. But I think another year, I think fifth for them. Yeah,
yeah. So yeah, we've just swapped around there. I've got Bunnies at five as my big bounce back team. Yeah, Bennett Factor's pretty much the main one, and then I can just see Latrell having a big bounce back year, Cody Walk having a
yeah,
big bounce back year, Cam Murray if he gets healthy.
mm,
Yeah, I've just Jack Whiten maybe as his second year at
yeah,
the Bunnies now, so I can just see them taking a role with Bennett, just being a proper like a workhorse team and kind of ironing out all the, I guess the bullshit that
all the
was.
bullshit. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so got them at five.
Yeah, no, great. Four, I've gone for the Broncos. I think last year, similar to the Rabbits, actually, um, so many injuries just plagued this season. I think this year, good off season with Madge. We've seen what he can do. He kind of can just bring a playing group together. I think the off-field stuff was just kind of distracting them as well. So I think him just kind of coming in and sorting all that shit out. He's a tough coach. Seems
Yeah,
like he's getting them all fit during preseason because you see all the shit online where all the players are vomiting after their training session and shit. I don't know if they just
Yeah,
had a good meal at like the Spotsy House or something like that. Just need to
that'll
bulimia
be
it
it.
up or something. But but yeah,
Yeah,
just to keep the cutting weight. But yeah, no, I think fourth for them this year. I think they've just got way too much star power to not at least be in the top four with your Walshes and your Payne Haas's and your Carrigans, etc. So yeah.
yeah, for sure. I've gone the Sharks at 4, which is where they finished last year, I know, and I do think they've got significantly better with Fino Blake because I think their front row has always been their problem, well, the last 3 or 4 years. So I think they're going to be a much better team and a lot better position to potentially win finals games. Not that we speak about finals, but
Yeah,
I
no, not
don't.
important.
Who cares?
Yeah,
But how many times do you reckon we'll make that joke?
yeah, every
um,
single time, every single time.
rest of the game.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, anyway, yeah, I still don't think they're better than the teams I've got ahead of them though. So I've got them at 4 still.
Yeah. I've gone Panthers at 3.
Hmm.
That might be a bit of a shock. But I don't know. I just think a couple of big losses. Like I think Penrith actually differ to us. With minor premiership is the only premiership that matters, and I think that like Nathan Cleary will have every single season he seems to do it where he has like a rest at kind of the end of the season or something like that, just so that he like always comes in fresh for the finals and then they obviously win. And I think this year his supporting cast isn't as strong, so I think they might lose a couple more games. But I
Yeah,
think yeah, they could easily be 2 or 3 or 1. Like I wouldn't be shocked with either of them, but
that's,
I just think maybe there's two other teams that will be a bit more flat track bully than them.
yeah. Yep, I've got them at 3 as well. Similar reasons. Yeah, I think like again, we look at them every year. They lose players and they seem to replace them. So, not looking at it too much in terms of what they've got on paper, but yeah, as you say, I don't actually think they care about finishing first. I think they always know how to
No.
time their run.
Mm,
And yeah, I just can see other teams really going for it, yeah, and
mm.
Penrith managing minutes and managing the origin period, and yeah, so I've got
Yeah.
them at 3.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Inverse this podcast, Penrith.
Yeah,
Second, I've actually got the Sharks. I just think they are the biggest flat track bully team. They are the biggest. Just they are the Sharks are us. Let's go for the minor premiership because that is all that matters. So you sign your Adam Fanua-Blake to, and you maybe your only loss is like a Royce Hunt. Like that's a
yeah,
massive upgrade for me.
yeah,
That was the piece that was missing. In their forward pack, just a massive meter eater. So. Yeah, I can see them absolutely bullying any team outside the top 8, getting a massive points difference, and
mm,
then yeah, they've started last year to kind of turn the tide on not being able to beat the teams in the top 8. So
yeah,
maybe I'm seeing a bit of improvement this year for them. So yeah, I've got them at second.
mm, yeah. Second for me is the Broncos. I just think Madge Maguire and Ben Hunt is huge for that team without losing anyone that significant, I don't reckon. So yeah, I think yeah, as you say, if you get Reece Walsh fit, Payne Haas fit, kind of all that supporting cast, Ezra Mam off was it drug driving or drink driving? We don't
No,
want to break
yeah,
news.
drink driving unlicensed. Yeah, that was
Yeah.
pretty impressive. I didn't know he's from Southland, but yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
It'll be the stag signing for next year.
Yeah,
But no,
maybe we can do a suspension in the NPC for the Stags.
I'll be all for it. Yeah, but no, I think Madge will just make them like Madge is showing that anytime he works with a gun group of players, whether it's the Kiwis or the Bunnies, or New South Wales, like he just knows what he's doing. So
Hmm.
yeah, yeah, I have them second. Yeah,
Yeah, and first, I think we're both on the same
yeah,
same here. I think Melbourne are pretty clearly favourites. I think having that team from last year and then actually going out and getting Uto Kamanu to add to that forward pack is just ridiculous. If
hmm,
Nelson, if he can stay on the field as well, he was incredible those last like few weeks before he got that suspension. And yeah, I just think that's a scary team to have a forward pack with Uto Kamanu and Nass starting, and then you got your Ali Katoas, and then you obviously got your halves on the back of that, Hughes, Munster, your Howarths, like all these players were just incredible last year. So yeah,
yeah,
I think they're pretty clearly favourites.
yeah, yeah. Same reasons. Like the big ones with Turkamanu. Like I think for me, the Storm would have won the grand final last year, which I know is crazy to say because it looked like Penrith completely bullied them. But I honestly think if Ness played that final, they would have won.
Mm,
I think if you could be real nitpicky and say that the Storm have a weakness, I think oh, I'm sorry, in the last year or so, it has been their front row. Because Ness has been kind of the guy, and he obviously misses quite a lot of games. And then behind him, they've
mm,
got like workman like guys like Joshy King and Tui Kamikamica and stuff that can kind of
yeah,
do the job. But I just think that's the area where you're clearly like, yeah,
yeah,
they're getting carried a little bit. But yeah, you
yeah.
bring it into Kamano, who's one of the best front rows in the game, alongside Ness. Like,
And
yeah,
you
I can't see
you
any
put
wrong.
him in that system as well. Utoikamanu gone from Tigers
Yeah,
system, which is an absolute shocker, and then you pop him in a Bellamy system. Like he's going to come back. He's going to play big minutes now as well. He's going to be a bully. Yeah, I reckon.
yeah.
Mm,
Bellamy will probably turn him into the best front row in the game. So,
yeah.
um, yeah, have them winning it, and probably even the grand final if they're healthy. So,
Oh, it's not important. Yeah,
sorry,
yeah,
I think that's
yeah.
5 for the episode. But yeah, we'll
Yeah,
try top it every week.
unless you lose your eyes, obviously. Unless you lose your eyesight. Reference to your
Yeah.
scenario from the start, by the way,
Alrighty.
unless you've.
So that's yeah. I got it. Don't worry. I think our punters are smart enough. Sorry, our fans, punters, they're smart enough to know what we're on about there. Um, Anything else you want to cover in the NRL preview? Any last minute fan mail or scenarios or punts that you want to chuck out there before we wrap it up?
No, I think that's probably all good for now. I think we will definitely readdress address closer to the start date, won't we? I'm sure there'll be some more news. There'll probably be a scandal come out before then. We can address
Yeah,
it.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
exactly. So yeah. Oh,
I,
don't you worry, league fans. We'll still you're in our minds.
Yeah. And for those of you that follow the NRL, do the NRL fantasy as well. I know that's massive, so we will do some podcasts relating to that too, and we might even pretty keen to start up a paid comp where people maybe chuck in $50, and we have obviously money going for the winners or the top three. So we'll see how much interest we can get for that
Mm.
too. But just before we wrap it up, well, I will ask you. You said Lofty Khan Pereira before, but if I can ask for a season top try scorer. And a Dally M, throw a couple of names at me.
Ooh, okay. Oh, that's difficult. Dally M, Dally M. Wow, you really throw me out there.
Mm,
Dally M, I might actually go for the chin. I might go for the chin, Nathan Cleary. I reckon he could
mm,
put a few more games together. That's probably the one thing as well that's missing from his resume at the moment. He's never been able to put like a full season together to
mm.
be eligible for a Dally M. So I reckon he could do that. And then top try scorer. Yeah, oh he was last year though, wasn't he, AKP? You
Think
tell
so.
me yours. Tell me yours and I'll have a quick think.
All right, so I'm going pretty rogue here. My Delium, I'm going to go Broncos play. There's obviously a bit of Broncos bias with the NRL in some ways too. So I'm going to say that either Ben Hunt or Payne Haas gets Delium because I think if they finish top two, which is what I've got them finishing, I can
Mm.
see one of their big three, I guess, with Reece Walsh getting
Yeah, I
heaps
was
of
thinking Walshy.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I'll go Dozer as a real dark horse. I'll go Ben Hunt at his age of 40, whatever he is, to win the Delium.
Mm.
And then with these I always love a smoky. So
Yeah.
I'm actually gonna go Tyrone Munro from the Bunnies as
Oh,
my
that's good.
um if he yeah if
Yeah, he'll be on the left
as my
sting, won't
top try
he?
scorer for the season.
He'll be on the left sting
I think so.
instead of Johnson
Yeah,
because
I think
Johnson
so. But
ACL,
even
didn't
still,
he?
yeah, I think so. So yeah, Tyrone
Yeah.
Munro. There you go. There's a smoky, and
No,
he'd pay
that's
heaps too. Punt.
yeah. That
Yeah.
is a good smoky
Mm.
actually. I think I'll have to go with Ronaldo Mulisi. Yeah,
Yeah, nice.
Ronaldo Mulitalo. Yeah, yeah. I reckon. I just think Sharks this year they're going to be
Mm,
the wingers or the back five of the Sharks always score, so I can just see him getting a
yeah,
shitload. So I'm going to go for Ronaldo.
yeah, nice. Yeah, nice. All right, so I think that wraps us up for today. So again, huge rugby league community. So we want to hear from all you guys. We want all your aggressive and nice fan mail to
Mm.
come in, so we can give you a shout out. And
Yeah,
also if you've got a scenario, sorry, Willie, you go. If you've got a scenario, please let us know as well, and we can give those scenarios to each other because we kind of like having to think on the spot. What were you going to say?
Mm.
Sorry, mate.
Yeah, I'm expecting a lot more fan mail coming from Hamilton, kind of that area
Going.
after this episode. Yeah, a bit of Coromandel, maybe a bit of Northland. Like we're gonna get a demographic of influx of certain individuals. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. I think we'll leave it there. So cheers, Couch community, and yeah, we'll see you on the next one.